A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Requiem, Episode 1, New Beginnings. It is a time of sadness and despair in the galaxy. The Galactic Republic has turned on the Jedi Order and now go by the name of the Galactic Empire. The Republic's army of clone troopers have been seen firing upon their Jedi generals and commanders, with only a short number escaping the massacre. Now, the citizens of the galaxy must decide how to navigate this unsettling and strange time. The what I envision the typical Star Wars crawl finishes, and we see the planet of Coruscant. Further down, we get and we see the view of the Jedi Temple. It is starting to be nighttime. It is starting to get late on Coruscant. The streets are very busy. People are seem to be a lot of people seem to be going in the same direction. Oh, we lost Josh.
I'm back.
Temporarily.
What the heck? My camera on? There we go.
There we go.
Should be working.
Yep, looks good to me.
Stop update. What the hell, Discord? Sorry, my Discord is running too down.
No, you're okay. Hey, first time tech issues. That's bound to happen. But yeah, the streets of Coruscant are very packed and busy. Everyone seems to be going relatively in the same direction, going towards something. The expressions and the looks on people's faces, most of them seem very worried, very grim, saddened almost, like something terrible just occurred. As our view moves throughout the crowd, our view begins to follow a particular figure. This figure is hooded and we can only see the back of them, but they make their way through the crowd and it looks like they're walking towards the Jedi Temple itself. At this point, a large crowd is gathering at the steps of the Jedi Temple. No real conversations can be made out, but those in the crowd are walking through it. Just hear things like, I wonder what's going on, or what could this be about? Things like that. As the figure continues to move through the crowd to get closer to the Jedi Temple steps, our view switches off the beaten path into some sort of bar or cantina a distance away from the temple, but at least in eye's view. The people in this, the individuals in this cantina don't seem very, they don't seem to really care what's going on outside of it. They have other intentions, other worries than why everyone seems to be gathered. One of the individuals inside the cantina is a blue-skinned figure. Josh, would you like to go ahead and sort of describe Vresk and give a little intro?
Yes. So Breskevum Klevkoi is a Chiss. He is 6'3", so he's kind of one of the taller patrons in there. He has a brown duster with kind of like a little armored collar and a armored shoulder piece. And his a very old and very I wouldn't say ornate, but very well crafted ancient Chiss weapon on his back. And he's kind of, acting like he's a little bit more in charge of the situation. He's moving with a purpose everywhere he's going, and conducting his business, but clearly a little on edge.
The bartender slams a drink down in front of you and says, "That'll be 5 credits."
Breskev pays him and takes it.
As you reach for your credits, the thought crosses your mind that the price of that particular drink that you've gotten has gone up in price rather recently. It used to be only 2.
You're upcharging now? You make it the whole way through the war with the best prices in the galaxy, and now you're gonna upcharge. Gonna kind of look to the bartender.
They pick up a glass or a cup and begin to dust it off, and they say, "Yeah, turns out this empire is bad for business."
For now, business will go back to normal. He pays the 5, and kind of reluctantly, but pays it and takes his drink.
As you take a swig or two, 2 clone troopers walk in, and without acknowledging or looking at anyone, they go to the front of the bar.
He's gonna turn away from them and continue to drink.
You can sort of overhear what they ask of him, but they seem to be pointing at some sort of projector or some sort of viewing grid of some sort that usually can be seen above the bar or somewhere in the bar. There might be a few screens around, but they are asking him to turn it on to a particular channel or frequency. I'm not sure what they would call that, but the bartender sort of thinks about it for a moment, but the stormtroopers don't seem to be in a very talkative or good mood, and he does as they say. As he flips it on, a few screens around the cantina turn on, and you can see a wide view of the Jedi Temple, with the crowd growing larger and larger as time goes on. As our view shifts, we go back out to the crowd near the temple, and the figure that we've been following, that we first followed, is nearly at the front, continuing to sort of push and lightly shove their way through. Finally, we see a glimpse of this person's face with their hood over their head, and we see a fair-skinned woman with brown hair protruding out a little bit from the hood, and she also seems to have a similar looking face as far as a worried expression or nervousness like everyone else. Eventually she makes her way towards the front of the crowd and waits. Elsewhere nearby, we see another figure who also is not really sure what is going on, but seems to be trying to figure out what everyone's attention seems to be going to. This particular figure has very bright, I guess, I don't know if I'd call it bright. Kaci, do you want to sort of describe Elish and what she looks like?
Yes. Elish is, I want to say she's short, but I really don't think she is. She's a little bit taller than I am. I would say about 5'3", 5'4". That might be short to some people. She has very fair skin, almost a gray type of skin. She has, and she's a Night Sister, so she has dark gray, blackish markings on her face. Her hair is red and short and somewhat of a bob, and she's wearing dark gray and black armor with some red cloth wrapped around in some places. And she is very guarded. Get curious.
As she sort of makes her way to at least not get too close, but at least try and see what's exactly going on, a large, or I should say a loud voice begins to echo throughout the area. Vresk, you can hear this voice pretty clearly with the viewing screens and such in the cantina. This figure also has blue skin, but it is not a chiss. Let me see. I should know.
Pantoran?
I'm sorry?
Pantoran?
I don't want to be wrong.
That's the only other blue race I'm aware of as well. Although I was thinking just like hologram, like he's normally human blue.
One's blue and a hologram.
So I don't want to. I'm not sure how to exactly pronounce it, but it is Chagrian, I believe.
Shogrian, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you watching, or at least for the figure I'm speaking about is, I believe it's Mas Ameda. The figure that is always seen pedaling behind Palpatine.
Oh, the big guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big blue guy with the horn things. That guy. He begins speaking on this sort of grand stage that is set up on the steps of the Jedi Temple. With the wave of his hand, these giant red banners are flown down from the temple, and they bear the image of the new Galactic Empire symbol. Some clone troopers also begin to drag out some sort of large metal circular piece of machinery of some sort. Unless you're very knowledgeable in sort of different types of machinery, you're not really particularly certain what this thing actually is. But it is wheeled out, and it is quite large, and it rests behind Mas Ameda. And his voice echoes out once again, and he begins to conduct some sort of speech. And he says, "Citizens of Coruscant, you have all gathered here tonight to celebrate something wondrous, something that should have happened a long time ago. We are to celebrate the destruction of the Jedi." Some people in the crowd cheer. Others, their faces look even more confused or worried. Sort of a mix. He continues and says, "Our beloved clone troopers have done their duty and have wiped out most of the Jedi. Slowly from the sides, clone troopers, two of them are carrying some sort of container. It's not really a box, but they begin to walk it out towards the rather large circular machinery type object in the center. Masameda puts his hand into the container and holds his hand up. And he holds up a lightsaber and says, "These weapons that were used against us shall be destroyed and will be no more. And never again will we fear the Jedi." He puts the lightsaber back in the container, and the clone troopers dump the rest of it into this large circular machinery. "Through the grace of our Emperor Palpatine, we were saved from this treachery. The Jedi are gone. The Emperor saw through their separatist plots, their lies. He survived their attempt to assassinate him, and now, at last, we are safe." As he continues to go on, more and more of these containers of lightsabers are brought out and dumped into the large circular machinery. the figure we saw in the crowd is none other than Jedi Nim Tagasis. She watches as these lightsabers are carelessly thrown into this machine. And Nim, you can only imagine what's going to happen eventually to these lightsabers. You're not sure what exactly is going to happen to them, but you can at least sense it's not good. For a moment, Nim, your attention is pulled off to your left. For whatever reason, you slowly turn and look over, and you see another figure that sort of stands out from the crowd. This figure is also in a hood similar to yours. Their hood is pulled pretty far away from their face, so you don't get a very good look at them, but you both seem to sort of turn towards each other at the same time. You do, however, feel a slight feeling in the Force when you look their way. You turn back towards what's happening on the Jedi Temple and turn back towards the figure, and they're no longer there. In the cantina, someone will walk up to one of the screens and throw their drink at it. The screen, however, is transparent, so it just hits the wall behind it. And
Vreska's going to kind of chuckle at, somebody wasting a perfectly good drink for no reason.
The figure watches their glass or their cup fall to the floor and shatter and say, "Turn this off." Masameda will continue his speech, and he says, "Never again will their instruments of oppression terrorize the galaxy. We have entered a new age, and a particular one of the last containers brought out by this time only a single clone trooper is brought directly to Masameda, and he lifts it up, and he lifts up a rather small lightsaber. Nim, you recognize this lightsaber even from a distance. It is Master Yoda's. Masameda holds it up above his head high. "We have entered a new age, an age of freedom." And he tosses Master Yoda's lightsaber into the machine. He steps off to the side of the machine and flips a switch and says, "Thus ends the tyranny." With the flip of his switch, the large container begins to glow inside. First, a very faint reddish orangish color, but very soon smoke begins to billow out of it. Excuse me. And very soon a fire from the inside erupts. Masameda will step to the side and watch in amusement and glee as the Jedi lightsabers burn. After a few minutes, the fire grows to be very large, so much so that the Masameda and some of the clone troopers begin to sort of back up. Nim, as the fire grows to be sort of its largest at one point, you feel a very strong strain in the force from all these lightsabers being burned, with the crystals being connected to the force in some way. You believe that to be the reason, as these crystals are sort of coming under this immense heat. Soon, instead of a red and orangish glow, inside the container starts to glow a very bright bluish white light. And in a matter of moments, a large sort of explosion of sorts takes place. This knocks a few clone troopers and Masameda down to the ground as this bright blue and white light streams up into the sky. Nim, this sort of this pull to the force as this explosion happens slowly subsides and fades away. As this happens, some people begin to clap and cheer, and some even go as far as hugging each other and are very happy that this is happening. Everyone then sort of begins to talk amongst each other, and the crowd slowly begins to dissipate. In the cantina, as soon as it's done and over with, the bartender will flip the switch on the viewing screens, and he'll say,
Back to robot football.
he'll say, well, glad that's over with.
Over with for today. The new Empire and even the Old Republic, they love their speeches and rallies and patriotic mess. I'm sure there'll be something they want to announce tomorrow, some glorious new thing.
As long as this place stays open, I don't really care what happens.
Cheers to that. He's gonna kind of raise his cup.
Nim, as this sort of gathering ends, what do you do?
I follow the crowd. Like, they're splitting off, but some of them are splitting off. I follow the crowd. I leave with the crowd.
You sort of turn around and go back in the direction you came as the crowd sort of begins to dissipate and leave. As you do so, you begin to see a few clone troopers walk through the crowd as well. They are walking in your general direction, but they don't seem to be necessarily focused on you or anything like that. But they are going out of their way to walk into the crowd for whatever reason. Alish, as you witness this whole thing, at least from your vantage point, the edges of the crowd seem to be coming back towards you. What are you doing?
I try to remain hidden. I step back into the shadow to get noticed by the crowd that's heading towards me.
Nim, as you continue walking, you keep an eye on the clone troopers, and you see one of them walk up to someone wearing a rather stretched out or worn down hooded robe or something similar to what you might be wearing, but very, very worn. And they immediately pull on the hood, and you can hear them say over the crowd, "Are you a Jedi?" And within a few seconds, they realize that this individual is obviously not a Jedi, and they push them aside or push them along and continue walking. This starts becoming a regular thing as more and more clone troopers begin asking people questions, or if they're wearing a hood, rip them off and sort of ask them if they're a Jedi. Luckily for you, you are fairly in the middle of the crowd. So if you can help it, you could try and avoid being questioned. You can try and avoid the groups of clone troopers walking throughout the crowd. Is that something you want to do? You want to try and avoid them?
Yeah. I'm avoiding all of the clones.
Could you give me a... Let's just do a stealth check. So that's under perception. So you'll roll 4d6, please.
1, 1, and 6, 3.
As you sort of try and avoid these troopers, whether you're trying to hide behind people or duck in between people or trying to avoid their gaze. Doing so, you focus too much attention on one group of clone troopers, and soon you almost nearly run into a clone trooper. He holds out. He's holding his blaster sort of up like this, and turns to you and sees you with your hood on, and says, "Citizen, there's no need to hide from the Empire." And he it looks like he's about to rip off your hood.
I take down my hood because I look pretty generic. I don't at the moment. I don't think anything that would tip him off that I am, in fact, a Jedi. Go, nothing to see here. Nothing.
You obviously can't see his eyes behind his helmet, but he sort of slowly looks you up and down, and sort of comes back up and says, "Move along." And he brushes past you, continuing to go throughout the crowd. As you continue leaving, you can nearly see sort of the edge where things start to become less crowded and sort of back to the normal Coruscant walkways and city streets, where things are less congested. Again, you sense something in the Force, and something tells you to sort of look off to your left and up, and you see a hooded figure standing on the roof of a short building or shack. This time, for some reason, you can sense that this is the same individual that you saw in the crowd just a few minutes ago. And from your angle, you can get a little bit of a better look at them. They seem to have not a human face, but they seem to have they're very furry or have very long hair. It's dark, so it's a little hard to tell, but you can tell that it is not a human, at least. You can tell that they are probably making direct eye contact with you, and they just continue to turn their head and, watch you as you continue to walk through the crowd. Again, feeling that sort of that itch in the Force, telling you that this person obviously is also Force sensitive in some way, and they can probably sense that in you as well. Does this worry you at all, or make Nim nervous, or how does how does she perceive this figure?
Well, at the moment she doesn't know who to trust, so everyone is a threat. So she just keeps her head down and she keeps on walking towards the nearest cantina.
A few minutes pass and you reach the entrance to this cantina. You walk inside and it is fairly busy. Looking around, no one really seems to take too much notice of you, other than the typical someone walks in and everyone has to look and then just go back to their business. What do you do once you? I guess I should ask. Do you go inside or?
I go in and I approach the bar, and I don't approach the bar. I sit beside, near the corner. I want to stay out of sight. Lay low for a few, maybe an hour.
As you sit down, I guess it wouldn't be the bartender, but a waiter or waitress of some sort. I guess I don't know if it'd be a droid or not. We'll say it's a droid. A droid will sort of roll or scurry up to you. Hello, madam. Would you like a beverage this evening?
Just some caf, please.
I think we've got some of that. I shall be back. And the droid turns and scurries off. Varesk, you saw Nim walk in, and as she sort of immediately didn't walk up to anyone or not even to the bar, and sat down and sort of laid low, as she said, having been around the galaxy a time or two, you can probably get the sense that she's trying to hide or trying to trying to lay low, as she said. It may not be obvious to everyone else, but to you, you sort of can at least guess what's going on, whether you care or not.
He definitely notices it. He's been in that situation before, and now maybe, and is gonna kind of take notice and make sure no one's watching her. Just out of courtesy.
Alish, as you sort of stay off to the side and let the crowd sort of disperse, after everything calms down after a while, you look around and you see back towards the temple, sort of in the middle of a courtyard. You see a figure in a hood talking to a group of clone troopers. You cannot make out what they're saying, but he points them off in a direction, and they begin to make their way in the direction he's pointing. And he lets them go for a while, and then slowly begins to walk behind them and follow them. The figure sort of, as he's walking, begins to do a slow look around the area. And whether he notices you or not, you can't really tell, but he just goes back and to what he was doing, walking with the clone troopers.
Elise tries to. Her curiosity gets the best of her. She keeps a big distance, but starts walking in the same direction as the group of clone troopers and the hooded figure.
As you trail them as best you can, would you say you're keeping a fairly decent distance between you and them?
Yes.
Okay. They begin to walk sort of towards the sort of residential market area in this particular area of Coruscant. You sort of stop and duck behind some sort of building or some sort of alleyway as the figure stops and turns and looks around and continues on. And as you follow them for a few minutes, you see them walk up to a building, and I guess I don't know if you've ever been in this building, but it is some sort of bar or cantina. At this time, the droid brings you, Nim, your beverage you requested. And asks for 3 credits. That'll be 3 credits, please.
I passed the credits over. I still had some left over from my last trip out, but nothing else, really.
The droid takes the credits. Thank you very much. Let me know if I can do anything else for you. And
Thanks.
and the droid scurries away. As you bring the cup or glass up to your mouth to begin drinking it, the door of the cantina is very aggressively pushed or kicked open, and stormtroopers begin filing in. And behind them walks this figure. Nim, you recognize this figure. This is the 3rd time you've seen this figure just tonight. The cantina gets quiet. And the figure only says 3 words. Search for her. And the clone troopers begin going around to each table and each individual and shining their flashlights onto their face, trying to get a good look at them as the cantina is fairly dimly lit. Nim, you definitely get the sense that they are looking for you.
Yeah. Make a swift exit stage left. Yeah. So I try to slip out. I take the cup. I take the cup of calf with me. Just because. Oh,
Oh,
Who was that?
are you back?
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
we're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay. I
I
take the
think.
cup of calf.
What
I
the heck?
take the cup of calf with me, just because I feel like that could make a good weapon.
Love that.
There we go.
Also, I paid for this drink.
exactly.
I want the credits to go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I try and slip out.
Yeah, looking around there, there does seem to be. You're not sure if it's a back door, but there at least is a back room of some sort. Sort of not behind the bar, but sort of off to the side. It just happens to be sort of on the opposite side of the room that you are on. So you're not sure if that's an exit, but it's either that or trying to run through the clone troopers and this hooded figure. Alish, seeing these clone troopers and this figure aggressively barge into this cantina, what do you do at that point?
I survey my surroundings, trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. I could leave, just turn around and forget what I saw. I can go in there and see what's up. Or I could stay lurking in the shadows and watch how it turns out. After a few minutes of debating, I decide. Stand by. I'm thinking what Elise wants to do. I decide to sneak into the cantina, quickly walk through the door and kind of hug the wall, just kind of go to the side, see what's happening. Because, like I said, Alicia's very curious.
You begin to make your way towards the entrance. Vresk, you see the clone troopers continuing to search for someone with this hooded figure following a particular group of clone troopers, and he keeps shaking his head as the clone troopers will say, "Is this her? How about this one?" And the figure doesn't say anything but just shakes his head or maybe even give out a grunt, just, ugh. For us,
Do I know any backways or anything out of this cantina?
Yeah, you
Or
know,
is it really
yeah,
just the front entrance and
you know that there's a back door to this place. That not everyone knows about. But
Mhm.
you happen to recall maybe a conversation between some patrons in the past, or maybe the bartender had too many drinks one night of his own, and said that maybe he he sneaks off from work every now and then through a back door. So you know one exists, at least.
He's gonna kind of not. No, I'm trying to think of like how you subtly get someone's attention when the stakes are this high. He's just gonna kind of like reach a leg over and kind of like tap and try and get the attention of the person and kind of like nudge them, like trying to basically, without saying, "Hey, are they looking for you?" Try and get that across. Uh, and then kind of like gesture to where he thinks the back door is.
Should I see?
Probably. I mean,
Perception, right?
Sorry,
6.
sorry. Say
6
that again.
one.
What's going on? It cut out a little bit for me.
I'm gonna try and get her attention and tell her where I think the door is, because I think she's the one they're looking for, just from the way things are going, and see if I can kind of give her an out.
Yeah. So I follow. I look to where he's pointing, and I just kind of change directions, and then just like slip towards the door. Do I make it out?
Why don't you give me another stealth check?
Three. Wait, how many?
For Nim, I believe it should be 4.
4 2. 6 3 4 2.
You are able to sort of time your time. How do I want to say it? You're able to time as far as when the clone troopers are looking at everyone, and the hooded figure is checking whether it's you or whoever they're looking for or not. And you time your escape well, and you begin to slowly slip towards the back door, or at least the back area. Varesk, you see Nim sort of walk past you and slip by you at that moment.
I'm gonna wait for her to like get ahead of me so it's not obvious, and then follow to. I also don't want the clone troopers looking at me too close.
Yeah, could you give me a stealth roll as well?
Well, that's 3, 1, and 4. So not great.
As Nim ducks into the back area, you attempt to nonchalantly follow her until you are grabbed from behind by one of the clone troopers, and he forcefully sort of shoves you against the wall and shines
Put his hands up like.
Shines his flashlight in your face, and sees your blue skin and says, "You're not the one we're looking for," and shoves you aside. Alish, as you walk in, you see sort of the end of what is this search going on inside this cantina. These clone troopers shining their flashlights in people's faces, looking for a particular person as this hooded figure continues to shake his head at everyone they're looking at. You're sort of right in the entrance, so like halfway in, halfway out. Do you continue inside or do you stay outside?
After seeing them searching for people, a spark of fear comes over Leash. Like that little voice in her head saying, like, what if they're looking for you? You gotta get out of here. So instead of going fully into the cantina, she steps back outside of the cantina.
And Varesk, once the clone troopers sort of look you over and decide that you're not the person they're looking for, what do you do at that point?
He's not gonna he's just gonna kind of hang out against the wall, kind of trying not to look suspicious, and disappearing into a back room looks suspicious. So he's just gonna kind of be a bystander for the moment. You know, he's right next to the door to the back, but he's not going in there.
Alicia, as you sort of back away and begin to slip away from the building, you hear sort of this typical Star Wars like door opening noise, like shh, and you see someone sort of stumble out from behind the building. And in sort of the light, you can make out this this woman who pulls her hood back over her head, and sort of looks to the side in both directions. And Nim, you've made it out of the cantina with still with your drink in hand. What do you do?
I just keep going.
Yeah, at least you see the figure sort of look to the right in your direction, and she then instead turns to the left and not necessarily runs, but sort of tries to get away from the cantina relatively quickly.
I hesitate for a split second, but the woman looked not distressed, but bothered as to what happened in the cantina that Alish saw. So Alish goes after her.
And Varesk, the clone troopers and the figure in the cantina, seems like they've gone through just about everybody at this point. And the figure, in a low, sort of growly voice, will just say, "She's gone. Move out." And the clone troopers swiftly leave the cantina, and he follows behind them. And
Vereskev is not, if they're looking for people, is going to start making his way to the ship. So he's going to go out the back and start taking the back alleys and stuff, and walk to the ship, not call a cab.
Do you go out the back or do you go out the entrance?
He'll go out the back. He knows it's there, and it's the closer side of the building to his ship anyway.
Yep, you head out the back, closing the door behind you. Looking off to your
Not necessarily moving fast, but moving with a purpose towards his ship.
Yep. Looking off to your left and to your right. To your right, you see the clone troopers and the figure continuing to walk, not in your direction, but at least away from the cantina at this point. So you sort of know your way back to where your ship is at. The quicker way would probably be to your left, sort of through the more residential area back towards where the closest dock is, where you probably left your ship.
He'll start kind of making his way that way. Not necessarily fast still, but making his way and watching his surroundings.
Elish, you use the shadows to your advantage, but this figure that you're following eventually sort of slows down when they feel like they are not close to danger to the clone troopers or the figure anymore. But Nim, your Jedi senses definitely tell you that you're being followed and someone's behind you, but you know for certain it's not the figure or the clone troopers.
I keep going. I'm cautious. I head towards the shipyards because I'm gonna look for something to steal.
Elish notices that she's slowed down. She doesn't think that this person she's following is a threat. She initially wanted to follow to see what was happening, if she was okay. She notices that they're heading toward the shipyard. So she continues to follow, but she's not trying to be sneaky now.
Nim, as you get to the shipyards, to the docks, you see plenty of ships docked and available. You figure with your skills, most of them might not be the easiest for you to fly, but you feel like you've read enough books and texts that you could probably figure it out fairly quickly if you sat down. The only thing that stands in your way is some sort of checkpoint to get into the docks. You see a couple clone troopers on either side of some sort of door or gate. You see a person or two attempt to walk through, and they're stopped and questioned and once again let through. At least you eventually see this as well, some distance behind Nim.
Elish decides that it's not safe for her to be on Coruscant with so many people and clone troopers, and where the Empire is very much there and present. So she thinks that this woman that she's following is her best bet at getting off planet. So she um, scans her surroundings, scans the shipyard, and tries to decide what um, ship she can use if it comes down to it, or what they can both use um, if she feels like this woman can help her get away.
Yeah. Nim, do you approach these clone troopers sort of guarding the entrance into the docks, or how would you like to go about getting inside?
Can I see any other way in? Like, to sneak in, like maybe going over or around.
You can definitely go over. The fence is relatively tall. A normal non-force sensitive would probably have to climb. You being force sensitive could, at least you think you could easily jump clear over it. At least on this side of the docks, this is the only entrance. Being, I guess, maybe do you want to do maybe a knowledge? Let's see. Maybe a streetwise or survival. Let me see. Which one would be best? Let's do knowledge survival.
Okay. 6, 5, 2.
Okay. Yeah, you, from what you recall, whether you've been in this area or not, there should be one entrance to each side of the docks. So there's 4 separate entrances. Whether each of them are guarded, you're not sure, but at least the one you're at currently definitely is. But to your knowledge, these entrances are the only way in, unless you were to simply jump over, somehow to get through the fence. But the easy way is guarded by these clone troopers.
Hmm. I'm gonna try and jump the fence.
Do you are you trying to do this sort of away from the clone troopers so they don't really notice you do this? Do you jump right over them? That'd be kind of funny, but what do you do?
They would immediately shoot me. Yeah. So I go like a little way off to the side, and I take a running jump and I try and get over.
Let's see. Do you want to give me a... Let's do... Since you're using the force to do this... Let's do force alter.
Okay. 2. 4, 2.
4 and 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Being a fairly, the fence not being too high, and, you've probably jumped up and over things like this before. This is fairly easy to you. You sort of make sure the clone troopers aren't looking at you or notice you at all, and you wait for the right time, but you do in fact use the Force to jump over this fence. Elise, you continuing to follow her, and you definitely see this happen. What is Alicia's reaction to that?
She's shocked. She knows exactly what this person is, which causes her some unease, because while Elise thought that she could use this woman to get off planet, she doesn't know if she wants to get caught up in a Force wielder. Because of this, she starts looking around for a separate ship to steal so she can get up and leave on her own.
So, the ships that are around are in the shipyard or in the dock. So, if that is your objective, you two are going to have to try and find some way to get inside. At this point, we'll go to Varesk, who rounds the corner and just misses the jumping show over the fence, but walks up to the same clone trooper guards, and they sort of step in your way and stop you and say, you got some kind of ship identification? We've got reports of, and one of the troopers will look at the other one, some unusual activity in the area. Just want to make sure you're going where you need to be going.
I assume he has some sort of like ship ID on him, like a little kind of holographic display of his ship, just so he can like show it off and show what ship he's doing for like contracts and stuff.
Yeah, you bring
and tell them which dock it's in. I was kind of pull out and I was like, this is my ship. I was going to turn in for the night. Didn't get any work tonight.
Yeah, you bring whatever sort of identification they're asking for out and show them, and they begin to look it over. And as they're scanning it, you briefly look up behind them, and you see the sort of the dock where your ship, where you left it anyway, is at, and you see this small hooded figure sort of sneak across the walkway and turn and look in your direction, and they walk into your dock where your ship is at. And the clone
he's not going to say anything, but he's definitely going to be kind of thinking what's going on.
The clone troopers will hand you back your information. All right, all checks out, but let us know if you see anything.
Certainly, troopers. He's going to take all his stuff back. Hope the rest of the night is quiet for y'all. And he's gonna walk towards his ship, kind of like keeping an eye for anyone else, kind of try to sneak on his ship.
Alish, while you sort of notice this figure talking to these clone troopers, would you like to take this moment to try and sneak into the docks while they have their attention away?
Yes, I would. You said that it's only over and then through the areas where the clone troopers are, correct?
Yes, at least to Nim's knowledge, there are
Gotcha.
4 different entrances, but I guess I'm not sure if Alish knows that or not.
Gotcha. Elise surveys her surroundings. She looks for any points of entry that she can enter. She knows. Okay, this is going to be stupid. She knows that she needs to get off world quickly, and so she scans the perimeter, starts walking toward it while still in the shadows. And I'm trying to remember if Night Sisters can use their magic to jump really high or not.
They can fly. They can float, so you could float up and over at least. And some of them have teleport.
Is that one of my magics? I don't remember. I don't think it is.
It should be on your.
I'm trying. Okay, hold on. Illusion, Waters of Life, Conjuring, Totem Magic. Let's see. Okay, you know what? I'll just instead of doing that, she just looks to her left and looks to her right. And sees a separate entrance guarded by clone troopers. And she walks up to them, and she is just going to. This is such an Elise thing to do. She's just going to fight her way through. She needs to get off planet.
Straight and to the point.
Yep. Elise, she I mean, tries to be careful, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
As you walk up to the clone troopers after they've had this conversation with this individual, the individual is allowed through into the docks, and as you reach the clone troopers, you can see this person walk into some sort of dock or hangar of some sort. And again, the clone troopers step in your way. Do you have some sort of identification from your ship that we can look at?
Yes, let me pull it out. It is here somewhere. She reaches into a pocket on her part of the cloth under pieces under her armor. And in doing this, the clone troopers look where she's reaching. While they're looking there, she uses her other hand to pull out her blaster, and she shoots.
Perfect. So before we get into that, I think this is a good break point for us really quick. But before we do that,
Cool.
Before we do that, let's each go around and introduce ourselves. So I think, Kaci, we'll start with you.
Hello, I am Kaci. This is my first tabletop roleplay game ever, so I hope I'm not terrible at it.
No, you're killing it.
Thanks. I obviously love Star Wars. My favorite character is Din Djarin. I love Ahsoka. I love Rey. I love almost everyone. And I haven't posted a lot recently, but you can find me on social media. I mostly post on Twitter and Instagram at the moment, but I do have a TikTok. I just need to get back into posting, but it's all Earth to Case, same username, all of my platforms. So come say hi because I like making friends online. It's me doing this.
Awesome. Josh, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Josh. I've been playing for. I was talking with my little brother about this. I think 12 years now. I've been playing TTRPGs. I'm the voice of experience, but I'm not. But I'm also, this is a whole new system, so I'm learning with everyone else and hoping I don't screw up and make y'all look bad. I'm a nerd in Warpaint on TikTok. I haven't posted a little bit. I just moved to a new job, which is really exciting for me. Our new shift on my job, which is very exciting. My favorite character is Darth Vader. I'm old school. It's the best. And I'm having a great time and looking forward to it.
Awesome. Lil?
Hi, I'm Lil. My most active social medias are my TikTok or my Tumblr, but my Tumblr keeps changing URLs. So my TikTok is Crime Lord Amidala, and there's a link tree to all of my socials in the bio there. But I've always been a Star Wars fan, but I like really got back into it around December. And I've just been like getting into the internet side of the fandom ever since. Because before that, my only connection to it was the fact that my brother's one of the Wikipedia mods.
So, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, if anything's ever wrong on Wikipedia, I just blame him. Yeah. And my favorite character is Jin Erso.
Okay, hold on. I love Jin. Rogue One is my favorite movie. Like, Jin is the love of my life. Love her.
It's just such.
She's awesome. That whole movie's great.
Oh, it's so good. I sob. It's great.
Perfect. Well, I am. My name is Bo. I am the mastermind behind all this. This has been a project that I've been trying to get off the ground and running for some time. I'm trying to think. I think I started sending out messages, I want to say back in like January or February, or maybe even earlier than that. Just trying to explain to people what I'm trying to do, and it's taken a while just to get everyone's like schedules figured out and all that. And we had some people join us and then drop off, but now I think we've got a really good group of people. And I think the main thing that I want out of this is just to, it's something different. I'm fairly I've been playing tabletop RPGs for a few years now, but I've never done anything like this as far as streaming it or getting together with total strangers that I would have never met otherwise and doing something like this. And I also love Star Wars, so this is just a new thing I wanted to try, and I think it's going to be really neat what we can create together as far as this story and just something different to bring to the community. So, you can follow me on TikTok, Bow and Arrow, and I'll put everyone's TikToks and all other social media and stuff in the description down below after this is posted, so you can follow them there all you want, so that'll get taken care of. So we're going to take a quick 5-10 minute break, And
Favorite character.
Oh, favorite character.
Who's
Favorite
your favorite
character.
character?
Okay, it's hard because there's so many good ones. So I think my favorite, I'll say my favorite Jedi or Force wielding character is probably Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my my favorite non-Force wielding character. I think Han Solo. I think he's pretty far up there. So
Great choices. Great choices.
So yeah. Like I said, we're gonna take a quick 5 to 10 minute break here, and then we'll be back to wrap up our first session here. So yeah, we will be right back. this out. All right. We are back. Thank you for sticking with us. So we'll start with Elish, who is about to, or I should say was about to, get into a little bit of a tussle with some clone troopers. So Elish fired the first shot. So why don't you go ahead and roll... actually, before you do that, let me make sure I got the correct stats up here for clone troopers. Oh.
Again?
Not again. What the hell? I don't know why he keeps doing that. It's like if it's not at a consistent time because I'm trying to keep a timer of like hours and it's not doing it on that. It's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna reset it real quick and turn everything off. There has to be a setting somewhere that controls that sort of thing.
Are you using like an app, like the app, or are you on like
I'm on my computer. I just don't normally use my camera on my computer.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just like it resets after an hour or something. I don't know because I can't find a setting on Discord that's doing it. So I don't know if it's the camera that's doing it or if it's just the Wi-Fi or something.
I don't know.
Okay, so Elish, why don't you go ahead and roll for damage, and we will go from there.
Okay. So I do 4. Do I do 4?
Let's see. It should be. Let me see.
Are your blasters 4 or was your melee 4?
Yeah, see, so my dexterity is 4, and then I have an extra for throw, but then it says for my vibroblade it's 4 for...
Yeah, so it should be... So first what we need to do is roll to actually hit, which being fairly point blank and fairly easy, I'm just going to say you hit automatically, but let's just roll for the sake of it. So what you'll do is you'll roll whatever it says for attack. That's what you'll roll.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that.
Got it. I got 4, 4, 1, 3.
4, 4, 1, 3. Okay, so that's two hits. And then for damage, does it say, it should say hits plus something.
Plus 3.
Hits plus 3. Okay. So 5 total. Let's see here. Five total. All right. So you hit one of these clone troopers, and he is sort of shot back from the force of this close-up blast, and he takes some damage from that. At this point, let's go and roll initiative, just so we get an idea of who's going when. So for that, I did some digging, and initiative is a little bit different than I thought, but I don't think it's going to change too much from what we've been doing. Let's see. It says if the character initiates the combat, such as shooting first, which you did, they automatically go first, which you did. Let's see. Yeah, so go ahead and roll your dexterity to get your initiative. And I'll do the same for the clone troopers.
5, 4, 4, 3.
Say that again?
5, 4, 4, 3.
Okay. So you got 3. Let's see. Let's see how these clone troopers did. All right. Okay. So, Elise, you are first in initiative order. So, you shot this clone trooper. He took some damage to his armor, but he is not quite out of the fight yet. But you get to act again as they are fairly surprised from your attack. So, what would you like to do?
I unsheath, is that the right word? My vibroblade. It's glowing green from my magics. And I swing at the clone trooper closest to me and try to stab him.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Roll a what? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Yep, just roll to attack. So I think it should be the 4 that you did.
Okay, cool.
Or
yes.
Or whatever it says for your vibroblade, I guess.
Yeah, got it. I got 4, 3, 2, and 6.
Okay, so that is a hit. So that's 2 hits. So what is the damage for your vibroblade? It should say hits plus...
It's 3. Hits plus 3.
Okay, so it's 5 again. All right. Yeah, so you take out your vibroblade and you slash this other clone trooper in front of you. And his armor lets off some sparks as he backs away in pain. Is that all you'd like to do this turn?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, I guess we kind of forgot to declare which actions, but,
Yeah.
but we're getting through it.
That's fine. That's why I'll just keep it at that. Yeah.
Okay, so next is the first clone trooper. And I will say, Bresk, you are... I wouldn't say close, but you probably heard Alicia's...
Yeah, I just walked through the checkpoint when she comes out and starts swinging on these guys.
Yeah, you definitely heard this blaster go off. So after...
Yeah, he's sprinting to the ship. He's
He's like, bye.
Peace.
He's like, bye.
Perfect. So
yeah, I don't see him like turning around and getting involved to like just randomly. It's like, oh no, someone's fighting the Empire. I'm gonna kill them or I'm gonna protect the Empire. No, it's may the best man win.
This first clone trooper, he'll take. We'll say he'll take 2 actions. His first action will be to attempt to radio in or make contact with someone. He'll try and get on his comlink or in-helmet communicator of some sort that he's got and say, we've got some trouble near the docks in Sector 443. Need backup right away. And he lets go from his comlink, and he's going to attempt to fire at Alish while he's on the ground. Let's see. And Alish, what is...
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to ask, what is your dodge?
My dodge is 2.
Okay. Okay. He lets off a couple shots, and luckily they miss, so you are good from him. And the second clone trooper is just going to take his one action, and he's going to attempt to fire at you as well. Okay. And he is going to, I believe, hit on this one. Let's see. I believe that is going to be... That is going to be... What is your soak?
3.
3. You're going to take 4 damage.
Okay.
And that is his turn. And that brings it back to you, unless Varesk, you are for sure not going to be involved in this.
I think he's prepping the ship to get the crap out of here.
Okay.
Like there's people storming the thing. He doesn't know if they're coming to. He's already seen somebody on his ship. He doesn't know if they're coming to just steal all of them. Yeah, I don't see him getting involved. As someone he never saw who's doing the attacking. He just knows, oh no, the spaceport is under attack and someone's on my ship. For all he knows, there's a plot out to steal his ship.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Varesk, you see this fight break out.
Which he's going to take out his rifle as he gets onto his ship. It's like he's ducking in and getting into it, in case there are people on his ship who he feels he needs to deal with, so he can leave.
Yeah, you see this fight break out, and you duck into the hangar area where your ship is located. You reach your ship and realize that the I guess I never know what to call this. It's like the ramp to get in. I don't know if there's a... Is it like gangplank, or is that not what I'm thinking? Is that not what I'm thinking of?
Gangplank is right for ships. I don't know if it's right for spaceships, but yeah,
Okay.
the ramp to get in.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry?
I'd say it's a ramp.
Ramp.
They call it on like buses and stuff. So.
Yeah. Anyway, you get to your ship and you notice that the ramp is down. So...
yeah, he's definitely going to have his weapon out as he's going onto the ship, thinking that there's someone on it.
Gotcha. Nim, it just so happens to be that this is the ship that you've been able to sneak into at this point. Are you trying to get to the controls and get this thing going as fast as you can, or what is your plan inside this ship?
So I was going for the controls, but then I heard someone come on, and then I was like, maybe not. So I find a cupboard and I hide in it, hoping that by the time we're in hyperspace, they won't care.
You reach your ship with your rifle in hand and look around, and nothing seems missing or out of place or moved around.
He's gonna go to one of the kind of the wall panels and kind of like slide something off, press some buttons, and it's gonna reveal like a secret panel. And you'll see some crates and things in there. Make sure those are still present. Close it again, and then head for the bridge. Start warming her up, or head for the cockpit.
Perfect. We'll go back to Elish, who it's now the second round of combat. I guess first we'll start the correct way. How many actions would you like to take on this turn?
I take 2 actions. The first action is I use my magic, so green mist comes out of my hands. I lift both of the clone troopers up in the air and smash them together.
Nice.
Perfect. So let's do. Let me see here. Trying to remember what I named all your magic abilities. Here we go. So I think telekinesis, which is what you're trying to do. You're trying to move these 2 clone troopers and smash them together. I think it's under illusion.
Okay.
Did I put that somewhere? I want to say I put that somewhere, but I may have not.
You put illusion there. Let me see. Yeah, so my 2 illusion spells that I have right now are telekinesis and blurred visage.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So why don't you give me a magic illusion check, and don't forget, you have everyone. I forgot to mention this to Lil, but you do have force points, which essentially, whether it's a skill or something, you get 1 per session, and it essentially doubles the amount of dice that you would normally roll for a check. And those don't stack, so you get 1 every session. So don't forget you have that if you would like to use it. Just a friendly reminder.
I would like to use it.
I may not.
I would like to use it.
Now I may not be.
Please.
I may not be that nice to remind you or remind anyone. But just the first session, thought I'd be nice. Just know that is a resource at your disposal.
I think I'm going to do it so I can roll 2 dice instead of 1.
Okay, awesome.
It makes me nervous, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. Because I gotta get away from these guys. I thought, I was talking the talk, but I'm trying to walk the walk. I got 2 6s.
Nice.
Wow. Blessed.
So, describe what this looks like when you lift these these troopers up and smash them together. What does that look like?
Elish, he stands and he feels this pull inside of her, this green mist starts coming out of her hands. She focuses on the two clone troopers. She raises them up. So her hands are doing this, but she raises them up as the green mist is flowing from her. The clone troopers are like shook. They are flailing. They don't know what is happening because obviously I'm not a Jedi. They see this weird mist coming out of me, but they're midair. I put all of my focus into my task at hand, and I make my hands like, I don't want to like clap, but very hard. And both of the bodies, the two clone troopers, speed, they slam into each other hard and fast, and they crumple to the floor. Is that good?
That was
That was
awesome.
awesome. That was fantastic.
They fall down to the floor, as you said. They drop their weapons while in midair, so their weapons are pretty far away from each other, and they don't look like they are getting up anytime soon. Where as they fall to the floor, you can see, I guess not see, but you can hear a ship beginning to sort of warm up and start its engines just a little bit down the path and to the right. Is that where you're heading, or what is your next plan?
As soon as the clone troopers are on the floor, not responding, I look around frantically, trying to find my best way off planet. I hear a ship starting up, and I race toward that ship. I run as fast as I can to try to get on that ship, so I'm not here when those clone troopers wake up.
As you begin running towards that hangar where that ship is beginning to get ready for takeoff, you can hear yelling and footsteps a distance behind you, and you hear more clone troopers begin filing into the shipyards and docking area, and it confuses you because they start yelling, "There's the Jedi! There's the Jedi! Get her!" And your only thought is they must have witnessed you lift these two clone troopers in midair and smash them together. So at least in the quick moments of that happening, that is your thought as to why they may think that you are a Jedi. And they are less friendly this time, and they begin firing at you. But you are lucky enough to duck into the hangar by the time the blasts start coming. As you run in, the ship is just beginning to slowly lift off the ground, with the ramp beginning to retract itself back into the ship.
I try to catch my breath. My hands are on my knees, just happy that I got away from that. Also kind of chastising myself for getting into that. But that quickly, dissolves when I realize that I was victorious in some sort of way. I look up and I gauge where I am, what type of ship I'm on, and the thought of who is flying comes to mind.
And so, just to be clear, you jumped on the ship as it was lifting off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought that's what you said.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fresk definitely left because he was so concerned with getting on, checking the ship, and taking off. He didn't close it.
Right.
Yep. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So yeah, you definitely did get on. The ramp and the door to the ship close behind you, and you can see sort of through the front of the ship. You can see someone definitely at the controls in the cockpit, lifting the ship up. Varesk, whether you noticed someone jump on the ship or not.
Probably not. He's focusing fully on getting the heck out of here.
Yeah. As you begin to lift off the ship, you begin to meet some sort of resistance. You don't know what it is, but it feels like as though the ship is tied down or attached to something, and it's preventing you from getting further away off the ground.
He's gonna throw some extra power. He's gonna throw some extra power to the engines and really kick it up a notch to get out of whatever they have tethered him down.
As you do that, the thrusters of the ship spring to life as much as they can. You go a little bit higher up, but this resistance you meet is still strong in sort of this tug of war, if you will. Let me roll for something quick. Okay. Fresk, do you want to give me let's just do a pilot check?
Absolutely. I've been waiting to make one of these.
Absolutely.
And actually, I'm going to go ahead and blow my force points, so double it. So that's going to be 10 dice.
Nice.
I have four.
Whoa.
I have 4 in mechanical and 1 in pilot.
He was born for this role.
He was. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that is all right. Out of that, 7 are over 4 with 2 6s.
Awesome. Yeah, you
And good roll.
you push some buttons on the ship and give it everything that you've got, and eventually the tug gives way, and you lift off from the shipyards, from the dock, and into the Coruscant sky. As your ship continues to go up and up, we see clone troopers file into the hangar where you once were, and they surround this figure who is seen looking up into the sky at your ship with his hand held out as if he was reaching for it. And he slowly brings it back down and turns into a fist and clenches it. And you see him reach behind his back and pull something out. And he turns to one of the clone troopers and says, "Was it you who let the Jedi escape?" And the clone trooper says, to be fair, and before he can let out another word, two bright red blades ignite and slash this clone trooper. Our view widens, and we see this figure pull down their hood. The figure is, let's see. I also don't know how to pronounce this species, but I'll give it my best shot. Let's see. I think it's... I have to look it up because now I'm like self-conscious. Shistavinen?
Don't be self-conscious.
Oh, it's fine.
Shistavinen? It's the
Right in the chat.
yeah, it's the like werewolf looking species.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Wait, I was thinking Wookiee, but no, it's
It looks like Shistavinen. That's
Okay.
what it looks like.
Okay.
With wolf-like faces, clawed paws, glowing yellow or red eyes.
Yeah. Maybe
spooky.
maybe Lil's brother can
I know.
correct me.
It's the internet. Somebody will love to correct you, and then somebody else is going to correct them, so nobody's going to know what it is.
Yeah.
But yes, this Shistavinen with bright eyes has two sort of claw marks or slashes across his face, and turns to the rest of the clone troopers with his lightsaber in hand and says, "That will not happen again." And he begins to walk out and sort of kicks the now dead clone trooper out of the way. Back on the ship, Varesk, you reach the outer atmosphere of Coruscant, and you don't have any ships following you or anything like that, and you are free to leave or do as you so please.
He's probably going to head towards the closest hyperlane just to kind of like get
out of there.
At least a couple jumps away, but no real destination in mind, just somewhere not here, somewhere he can take some time to think.
Yeah, you punch in the coordinates and jump into hyperspace. And yeah, you got away from Coruscant.
Yes.
Is that the story? Is that where we leave off?
If we can, that leaves me plenty of time to get ready to head to work, and then next time we can do introductions, because I don't want it to just be like, "What's up? I'm Brisk."
Yeah. I think this is a good place to end it. So, yeah. Well, thank you all.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks everyone for if you're still watching or maybe watching this later on the YouTube channel. But yeah, for our first session, I think it went pretty well. What do you guys think?
I had a blast. This was a huge pleasure just to like do this with y'all. This is like being in a stream is something I've always wanted to do, but I never figured would really happen. So now that it has, is like this still feels awesome.
Yeah, I'm so happy that this is like my first, tabletop roleplay game. So I had so much fun. That was, and I mean, just to fair warning, Alicia will be causing trouble like all the time. So
Oh yeah, once
Just so
Press
y'all
knows
know.
her, he'll follow in, but he doesn't risk his life for people he doesn't know. he's very
Alicia just
mercenary.
risks her life no matter what.
Yeah, I have a feeling Nim's just gonna have to like go around the galaxy going, please don't kill me.
Great. Just please.
Perfect.
I'm so happy I finally got to use my massive pilot skill.
Yes, that was good.
That was wild. 10 dice. Wow.
Yeah. Which he makes up for it because he was very squishy and very bad at a lot of other things to be that good at piloting. But he knows his shit. He will get us to our destination. Whether he survives that destination is a completely different matter.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I say let's go around one more time. Don't have to do introductions per se, but let's just remind people, if they're still watching, where they can find your social media and all that good stuff. Kaci, take it away.
Did you say Kaci?
Yes.
Okay, you broke up for a second, and I just heard "take it away," and I was like, "Oh gosh." Kaci, hi, I'm Kaci. You can follow me on. I'm mostly on Twitter and Instagram, but I'm also on TikTok. Earth to Case. It should be somewhere around me. The links will also be down below. Both said, but yeah, Earth to Case for all of them. So come find me. Let's talk. Let's chat.
And I'm Josh at A Nerd and War Paint on TikTok. This was super pleasure. Just had a great time. I haven't posted anything in a minute because I've been moving shifts and been incredibly busy. I'm hoping I can finally get some time to do it very soon. But love to chat on there or anywhere. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lil. You can find me on TikTok at Crime Lord Amidala with underscores between each word. And I'm actually normally a cosplay account. I haven't posted anything cosplay in a hot minute because I just finished my first year at uni. So
yeah, first year done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you can find me there. And then I've got so many other socials, but I've just got a link tree there. I'm not gonna list them all.
Awesome.
I was muted. Yes, thank you, Lil. And a little bit, I know, right? A little bit behind the scenes. Lil literally joined our group yesterday. So
Yesterday.
I just want to thank her for
yeah, we want to appreciate you so much for stepping in and kicking so much ass. That was awesome. You did great.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on board in such short notice. We all appreciate it because we all been waiting to get this thing going for a while. So I'm really glad and I'm happy. I know it's really late for you, so but I think we're gonna make this work.
Do you want to know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's 4 a.m.
Oh no!
No.
Okay, we gotta end this. Go to sleep, please.
We gotta go. I gotta go.
Wrap it up.
I may as well go watch the sunrise.
Go for it, girl.
Go for it.
All right. Yeah. Well, not sure when we're gonna come back for session 2, but we will keep y'all updated on all our TikToks and all that good stuff. So, get updates on there. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Signing off. This was awesome.